Hello, my name is Ahmad. I am Associate Professor from Faculty of Information Management, University Teknologi of Mara, Cawangan Negeri Sembilan, Campus Rembau, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of other team members, their photos as shown in this slide title, I will present our video presentation. Before we go further to discuss about this slide, I would like to give you a brief story how this project is began. In early of 2020, I and my colleague met our new friend from Faculty of Sport Sciences. We had a briefly discussion on the issue of anti-doping and the organizations called ADAMAS. ADAMAS is a short form for Anti-Doping Agency of Malaysia, which is that was our first time in our life we heard and know about the issue of anti-doping and the organization which are dealing with the issue, especially involved with our athlete in Malaysia. We became interested in the particular issue about the student athletes' knowledge, awareness and attitudes toward doping. And of course, we are focusing that related on the educations about the anti-doping. I and my team members designed and carried out a preliminary study for this project. Due to that, we agree to have our title for this project is Assessing on Student Athletes' Knowledge, Awareness and Attitudes towards Doping in Malaysian Sport School. In this video presentation, there will be 6 points that I will explain it to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with the introductions related to the project. The use of doping agent among athletes send an unacceptable message about the culture of drugs use in sports. Some experts claim that the increasing of the public prosecutions of the offenders in the doping cases and doing more drug testing might deter the athlete from doping. That is based on the research by the Anthony W.B. and his colleague 2011. However, a better approach that targets the roots of problem using proper education as the primary preventions of doping should be considered. For Hector and et al. 2013 also doing this research. Thus, to develop an appropriate education package for the young athlete, it is important to first identify the athlete knowledge, awareness and attitudes towards doping. This is because attitude can be considered as an index of doping behavior and a greater leniency towards doping could be linked to the use of prohibited substances. Based on the Moritz and Zabala 2013, the doping knowledge among school athletes still lack, as well as the existing studies in these populations. A better understanding of young athlete knowledge, attitude and practice in the use of drugs in sport could help to formulate a better anti-doping education program. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the introduction that I mentioned it early, now I would like to conclude. Based on that introduction, the problem statement that we mentioned it, the research aims for this project is to establish the Malaysian student athlete levels of awareness with regard to doping information disseminated by World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA), and also to determine their attitudes towards doping and to establish the occurrence of anti-doping rules violations among the Malaysian student athletes. The study also is going to investigate the most common sources of doping information used by the Malaysian student athlete and the associations between gender, age, experience and their doping knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the main research aims that we stated just now I would like to share you our objective. Basically, there will be 5 objectives, which is to evaluate the knowledge of doping, and then we're going to assess the attitudes of Malaysian students, and number 3, we're going to establish the possible practice of doping, and then we're also going to assess Malaysian students, athletes, coaches, manager about their knowledge and use of the herbals and nutritional supplement, and the last objective is to establish the common sources of doping policy information used by the Malaysian student, athlete, coaches, manager, governing bodies and healthcare professional. Ladies and gentlemen, in this slide, I will show you the focus group that we planning to do for our project. There will be 5 sports schools in Malaysia involved as a population for this study. Other than that, we also going to have 2 officers from Anti-Doping Malaysia Agency, ADAMAS, 2 officers from Ministry of Youth and Sport Malaysia, and 1 representative from WADA. Dear ladies and gentlemen, with this slide is going to be our last slide for our video presentation. In here, I stated the preliminary data that we managed to get from the Education Policy Planning and Research Division, Ministry of Education Malaysia, where in this data, I show you the sports school enrollment in Malaysia and also list of Malaysian sport school by state. Based on this data, we hope we're helping us in doing our preliminary study in this project. With that, I thank to all of you for your attention. Hope that we will see in future. And thank you so much. Say no to doping.